Follow my finger with your eyes.
How much longer will Dr. Cuddy be?
Well, given the number of mojitos she's knocking back at the party, I'd say it's gonna be at least 3 hours before she's even conscious.
Weren't you at the same party?
I don't drink. I want you to reach out and grab my cane.
What's wrong?
Your son's brain is losing control of his muscles.
Dr. Cuddy's message said it was just dehydration from diarrhea.
She's wrong.
Is he gonna be all right?
I don't know. While you were all wearing your Frankie Says Relax t-shirts, I was treating a 73-year-old woman who went through this progression of symptoms, the last of which was, in case any of you missed that class in mid-school, that one's untreatable. Kids got the first 2. It took Esther an hour and 20 minutes to go from 2 to 3. And less than a day to make it all the way to the rear exit.
This is all because a child has some blood in his diarrhea. He's got a tummy ache. If there was any reason to think it was anything worse, Cuddy would be all over it.
Great. Do a colonoscopy.
And a 6-year-old kid who probably has nothing worse than some food poisoning.
And if you happen to find any purple papules, do me a favor and grab a slice. I want to check for Erdheim Chester.
A disease that there have been, what, maybe 200 reported cases of, ever?
If Esther's family had let me do an autopsy, there'd be 201.
It's not the first time I've seen this file. About a month before Cameron was hired, some trucker came in here with these symptoms. House decided he was dying. 2 days and a spinal tap, bone marrow extraction, and 3 colonoscopies later, we send the guy home with a bunch of painkillers and a diagnosis of a bad cheese sandwich. One of the guys who worked here before me said House tried to cure Esther at least 3 other times. You know how people see the Virgin Mary in Danishes and stuff? Someone died 12 years ago, and House doesn't know why. House sees that case now, and paint peeling, and clouds, and now this poor kid.
It's not Erdheim Chester.
It's exactly what we said before, a garden variety viral gastroenteritis. Can we go back to the party?
Do a kidney biopsy. Esther's shut down in exactly...
This kid is not Esther. You screwed up. She died. I'm sorry, but that does not mean this kid is dying as well.
Jeez. You can test you when you don't get any fuzz. Come on.
What'd the test say?
Colonoscopy was clean, and the biopsy was negative for Erdheim Chester.
So Ian's gonna be all right. It was just some sort of virus.
What's that?
Urine.
Oh, but it's brown.
Ian's kidneys are shutting down.
Still think it's not the same case? What explains everything?
E. coli HO157 causes bloody diarrhea and leads to hemolytic uremic syndrome. Toxins from the bacteria cause these kidneys to shut down. We should start him on plasmapheresis.
Clear, concise, and completely plausible. And exactly what I did last time. Didn't work. What else?
Goodpasture syndrome. Circulating antibodies cause kidney failure and bleeding.
But not the purple papules.
If you throw in Esther's next symptom, brain, makes me think heavy metal toxicity.
His hematocrit would have to be low. It's at 44, and Esther's never dropped below
42.
You have the file memorized?
It's my lucky number.
What? What's happening? Ian, come on. Honey, just relax. Ian, breathe. Come on, honey. Please. Please, honey.
test can we do with that? Look, we cure the kid, we solve everybody's problems. How many?
Maybe 2 good pieces.
How many okay pieces?
3'd be pushing it.
3 tests, 7 choices. Okay, what's first?
Sarcoidosis seems most likely.
Yeah, so likely Cuddy's gonna think of that all on her own. She's got the kid's whole body to play with. Let her do that test. What's next?
It's moving too fast to be spreading. It has to be growing from something that's already there.
Genetic disorder, tuberous sclerosis.
Or it's his immune system, histiocytosis.
Well, there are more documented cases of histio amongst older people and tuberous sclerosis. Let's start with that. You want me out of here?
You come up with anything?
No.
Hey.
We can talk about it tomorrow.
I won the poker tournament. I totally played this guy Berman from Business Affairs. I got great cards, but I don't bet. Just call, no raises. Berman pairs his king on the flop. I keep calling. The river turns. I check. He can't stand it. He goes all in. He's sure he's won. I call. I flip him.
Pocket aces.
I nailed his ass.
The aces were hiding all along. Test him for Erdheim-Chester disease.
Erdheim-Chester, that's not even on the list.
Because we already did it. He tested negative.
So did Esther.
Disease lied.
Yeah, the tumor's got it in for you. Diseases don't lie.
Fine, it didn't lie. It's slow platus. We biopsied the colon. It hadn't reached the GI tract yet. It's there now. It's in his liver, his lungs.
You want it to be there. Because then you didn't screw up 12 years ago.
We can't waste our one test on the one disease we know it's not.
Run the test.
Sure about this?
Wait, let me think about that. Don't pressure me. Just run the damn test.
Cells look like macrophages.
That's a good start. Take your time and say it loud.
CD68 positive.
Start the treatment.
Car accident when she was 2. She only had minor injuries, but her father died.
That was 12 years ago. You think that's pertinent?
No, I think it's sad. She got sick in the middle of her 14th birthday party. Which is sad and pertinent. Maybe she was opening a present that triggered the reaction.
Whose house?
Pissing contest with Foreman.
Last thing she ate was strawberry cake, but allergy tests for everything were negative.
You like your dentist? I'm still going to my pediatric one. What's your dentist's name?
Williams.
What if it's not an allergic reaction? Hereditary angioedema or systemic mastocytosis could mimic anaphylaxis.
You're not sure of his name? You just saw him this morning.
The assistant's name is Angie. Her home number is...
Normal complement studies, no skin lesions.
You had a manicure. This is fresh. You weren't at the dentist. Why would you lie about that?
To avoid having this conversation.
Elevated BP. What about pheochromocytoma?
Or an anaphylactoid reaction which could be triggered by certain opioids.
You've had your hair cut 3 times since I've met you. You can't be embarrassed about a manicure. There's gotta be a deeper reason.
Did House give you homework?
She's not on any meds.
Haven't you heard? Everybody lies.
And the tox screen was clean.
Feel free to jump in at any time.
We'll check catecholamines for pheo and run an expanded opioid panel. You see what the patient says about drug use when her mother's out of the room.
What kind of drugs?
What kind did you have in mind?
Iris has always been a moody girl, and now that she's a teenager, it's gotten worse. So for the past few months, I've been giving something to relax her. Diazepam. I tell her it's vitamin C. Being normal is very important to Iris. She couldn't handle the thought of being on meds.
Anti-anxiety medications would explain it. If we keep her off, she'll be moody, but healthy. Or it's something else.
Feeling any pain or cramping here? A bit. But not just there, here.
Breast tenderness. Have you been having regular periods, Iris?
Not really.
What is it?
I think we should run a pregnancy test.
Iris isn't sexually active. She doesn't even have a boyfriend.
Pregnancy would explain all of her symptoms, can even cause some unpredictable allergic reactions.
How can I be pregnant if I've never even had sex?
We just need a drop of blood.
What's the matter?
My arms. I can't feel my arms.
Everything looks good.
What's the matter?
My arms.
Still nothing?
Oh, now they're sore.
Paresthesia's gone.
The bruising be caused by physical trauma?
You think she fell out of bed repeatedly?
A blood disorder, maybe thrombocytopenia.
A vitamin K deficiency or scurvy could explain bleeding problems, and pregnancy could exacerbate it.
Boys do a home search, girls do lab tests. Pretty sure that's not sexist.
She does have a boyfriend.
Love letters. Porn.
Nasty kind. Torture, rape, animals.
Sweet kid.
He came here last night. And he told me I should leave. But I didn't want to, and he got mad.
He hit you?
Physical trauma.
Explains negatives for the blood disorder.
We should call the police.
I won't tell them anything.
That's ridiculous. He beat you.
What is it?
It's getting hard to see. What the hell is happening to me?
There are 2 types of people. Those who can move on and those who can't. My father keeps up a good front, but he's just like Emery. You need to leave him alone.
So he has 2 types of people inside of him. MRA was normal.
Yeah, how did
I found out where your boyfriend lives. When I paid him a visit, he took off, ran in front of a car.
You're lying.
He's down in the ER right now.
Shut up, you lying sack of crap.
Iris.
How do you know I'm lying? How do you know your boyfriend's okay?
'Cause I'm right here, you dick.
When you say your boyfriend hit you, it means you actually hit yourself.
And the pregnancy doesn't take a boyfriend, just a boy. You may not be aware of half the things you've done.
How could this be happening to my own daughter without me knowing it?
Diazepam was masking it. Taking her off made it more apparent.
But I wasn't on diazepam. What is that?
That's what those vitamin pills were. Iris, I am so sorry. I I thought you were moody, and I didn't want you to think you needed medication. Oh my God, I can't believe how stupid I've been.
We need you to help us with something. Different alters can have different apparent symptoms. Allergies, paresthesia, vision loss, changes in blood pressure.
Do you think I'm making this up?
Your symptoms are real, but some are physiological and others are psychological.
So there's something wrong with her, in addition to the multiple personalities?
Yes, but we won't know what until we access her alters and compare their symptoms.
Well, how do you do that?
Hypnosis. You remember being heard?
I remember everything.
Baby. It's going to be okay.
Why didn't you ever tell me?
It was my fault Daddy died.
Oh no.
So what? I was crying and he couldn't drive. It was my fault Daddy.
Oh no. No, honey. You were just a baby. It wasn't your fault. No, shh.
It's my fault. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry.
I'm not seeing an embryo in the fallopian tube.
I'm not seeing an embryo anyway.
Which idiot did the pregnancy test?
I did one of them, chased it another, tabbed it a third. 3 tests, 3 positives. What happened to your eye?
I grabbed Park's ass. Exoplanets.
I think he said exoplanets.
Wait for it. We can't actually see them. We infer their existence because of the effect they have on the star they orbit.
Pregnancy test only infers an embryo's existence because of elevated HCG levels.
Which could also be caused by choriocarcinoma, which affects the placenta, mimics pregnancy, and causes elevated BP and vaginal bleeding.
Occult choriocarcinoma, which is why we didn't see it on the ultrasound.
Tell all the alters that they have cancer. Our patient is Kendall Pearson, 16-year-old aspiring pirate.
She's a Canadian kid who's trying to be the youngest person to sail around the world.
She collapsed yesterday during a practice run. Luckily for us, cameras were there. Corporate sponsors want us to check that she's seaworthy before the clock strikes. You're too old to set a record. Gives us 3 days. You've still only got 1, right?
Last day as a student. Could be simple dehydration. She told the Coast Guard she had felt dizzy.
Pulse and BP were normal at the time of the rescue. It's not dehydration. What about your internship? You sign up this morning?
Actually, I'm still deciding. Maybe she had a seizure, and that's what caused her collapse.
Coast Guard report says no sign of head trauma.
What about her back? Look, right before the collapse, she hit the small of her back on the railing. Damaged adrenal glands caused adrenal insufficiencies, which caused the collapse.
Nice. Blood draws every 15 minutes for 4 hours. Let's track her cortisol. Masters, there's no hurry. There's no wrong choices. At least that's what they tell people who make crappy choices.
What's with the sudden interest in her future?
You know, a blacksmith who spends this much time hammering out a new blade from raw jello. It's curious about who ends up wielding it.
No reason to be curious unless you're interested in wielding it yourself. You want her to intern here.
And you're considering this?
Before I make my decision, I still have 1 more LP I need to get, so I'd like to go to the ER.
I'm glad you're gonna be sticking around after today.
Really? You want me to stay?
It's good to add a different perspective to the department. Someone who still remembers there are rules other than houses.
If I don't play by House's rules, he won't let me in.
Find a way around them.
I'd have to lie to him, which is still lying.
Lying about a lie, that's practically telling the truth. Catheters in, start the calcium channel blocker drip.
Means I need another LP.
Luckily, I know where you can get one. You good here? Let's go. Decent stick, very smooth.
Sounds like you've had a few of these. I suppose that comes with the territory.
I have Huntington's. No need to get hushed and solemn about it.
Why are you lying about rehab?
Because the real reason I was gone is not something I want to share.
Couldn't you just say that? Should be enough for Foreman and the others.
How long have you worked here? House's people have personalities that range from nosy to pardon me while I do this cavity search.
Do you think there's room for someone who does things differently?
No. Not unless House decides that's what he wants.
Do you happen to stop and give 13 an LP? 13 stiff gait, small pupils, and the raging headache she's hiding gave you away.
Yes. And I still broke a rule.
My rule. I told you to defy the man, not this man.
Why is it so wrong that I don't like to cheat?
Can we go?
No. Not liking it is fine. Not doing what you don't like makes you an 8-year-old. Wastes your potential.
You want me to be like you, it's not gonna happen.
That's the last thing I want, because then neither one of us would be exceptional.
You think I'm exceptional?
Not anymore.
I can do my job without compromising.
No, you can't. I'm not gonna let you. Internship's gone. It's time for Masters to say goodbye. Enjoy being a surgeon. You'll be fine.
What's wrong?
Hypotension, low cardiac output. Float the swan.
Don't you have your own surgery?
I took a break. I told them I had to pee.
You lied. A small one, but it's a gateway lie.
I care about the patient.
Another lie. You care about being exceptional.
I told her dad I was gonna take care of her.
A third lie. Welcome to the slippery slope.
RA is 8, equalization of pressures.
And she has restrictive pericarditis.
Add that to a calcified pineal gland.
When is a calcified pineal gland not a calcified pineal gland? I realize technically it's never, but...
When it's a granuloma. It's Wegner's. We should start her on steroids.
But she had a high CK. Wigner's wouldn't explain that...
Dehydration does.
Yes, but the calcified pineal could be sarcoidosis.
You had me at I had to pee. But 13's right. Start her on 3-fold immunosuppressants. Masters, if you want to fight me on this, fill out a consult form so you can stick around. Welcome back.
I'm not back. I'll just be staying for this case.
You got really good at this lying thing.
Did you always know that sailing was it for you? That it was the right thing?
Didn't even start till I was 10. And at first, I was not a fan. Certainly, there's plenty not to like about sailing.
But now that you're so into it...
Oh, no, there's still plenty of things I hate about it. I hate being wet. I hate being cold. I hate eating nothing but freeze-dried food.
That is quite the endorsement.
Sailing is amazing, but it doesn't mean I love every second on the boat. Doing what you love means dealing with things you don't. If there were nothing to overcome, it might not be that... Ow!
You have lymphoid sarcoma, a cancer in the bone in your arm.
Am I going to be okay?
It's a treatable cancer, but part of that treatment involves amputating your arm. I'm sorry.
There's nothing else?
We can do chemo and radiation after the amputation.
I don't mean after. I mean instead of. If I leave soon, I still have time to break the record.
Honey, you can't be serious.
I feel fine. Last night, they thought it was an infection.
We know it's cancer. We ran the biopsy 3 times.
You don't know how fast...
Postponing the surgery could increase the likelihood that the cancer will spread.
Kendall, you need to think about what the doctor's saying.
I'm thinking about the sale. Like I have since I was 10. Don't take this away from me. It's just a month. I can take extra precautions. I'll Skype you every day, and I can fly back if something goes wrong.
She'll be risking her life.
I think we need to discuss this as a family.
You're considering this? Your daughter's condition.
Thank you, Dr. Masters.
Ready cardiac arrest. 3rd-degree heart block.
Likely paraneoplastic syndrome. Need to get it to the OR for pacemaker and plasmapheresis.
What's going on?
Cancer is causing her heart to slow down. We have to get her to the OR and treat her. This is what I was worried about. If this had happened at sea, she would be dead.
Oh my God.
We need you to sign the consent form. Authorize us to amputate her arm. Push calcium chloride. It'll fix the heart block. Bradycardia was me.
You did this?
Parents signed the consent form. Amputate her arm.
You weren't supposed to do this. How could you?
Because we love you.
I hate you. I hate both of you.
Okay.